Hello, my name is Samantha Simpson, and my speech is on why you should become an organ donor. There is plenty of reasons why, but today I will be talking about some of the benefits that you will receive, not only you, but also the person that you're donating your organs to, whether you are donating them after you pass or if you're donating a live donation, if you just decide to. There is plenty of requirements that you must take if you're giving a live donation. Just because you have to make sure you're healthy enough, you have to go through a series of questions. But after you pass, even if one organ is not viable, many other organs that you may have is still good. The amount of benefits is really good. Up to 60 people can be helped just from one donation alone, just from one body. Plenty of organs go out to all different people. Loved ones could be on the list. Your family, your kids, your parents, anybody could be on the list, and you might be able to help somebody else's family. You have to think, well, I need somebody to help my family. You would think they are thinking the same thing about you. They want you to help them too. So it just goes back and forth. There is a great need for donors. There's about 120 to 125,000 people in the United States alone in need. The percentages range lower of those who are signed up than those who are just interested in becoming an organ donor. And it's really simple to become one. All you do is when you go to get your ID at the DMV, you can just select if you're an organ donor, if you want to be one or not. Also, if you do not do that, there's websites that you can go on to make you one. It's very simple. You just fill out your information, and like I said, you have to go through a series of questions and tests at the doctor to see if your organs are viable. Live donations, kidneys are the most needed organ, and 13 people die a day alone on the waiting list, just waiting for a kidney. So it's a very big need, organ donation. You can donate a portion of your liver too. You can go through a series of tests and see if you're able to donate just parts of your organs to see if you're able to live with just one kidney. You can donate the other one before you pass. People who are on the organ donation list normally wait for a long time, and they're at the end stage organ disease, and that really impacts their quality of life, how they live. It really means that they're near the end of their life and they really need help. So receiving an organ can become a life-changing event for these people for sure. The organ list continues to grow every day. Approximately 10 people are added every day. And that really is a lot when it comes to being your family members. All throughout the United States, just in Nebraska alone, just because it's the highest state, there's approximately 500 people waiting on an organ to become available. They are on their deathbeds just waiting, and it's really sad. And for the families, it can be very depressing and heartbreaking, very stressful. And you have to think, you could be one of the people that can help out these people, and it could really influence their life. It could even influence them to become an organ donor just because you helped them out so much, they might want to give back. So you got to think, if you donate to somebody, it might encourage somebody else to decide to donate, and it could really help a lot of people. It could save a lot of lives that are in need. About 48% of the population of Nebraska has registered to become a donor. So that's not very much. About 50% of them, 48%, have decided to become one, and 500 people are waiting. So that's really not a good sign. There's more people that are in need than people that are signed up. So about 22 people die every day waiting on an organ just because they haven't received one or they're not on the top of the list. some people, they're older, so they don't really get to qualify to go on the list. So you have to think of all the people that are not calculated into that factor. And it's very sad. So you got to think 22 people a day, or that's about 8,000 people a year that has died. So organ donation can be very rewarding and a positive experience. It can help a family work through the grieving process to deal with their loss just by knowing their loved one is helping save somebody else. Their loved ones are helping to save other families that have been through the same situation that they've been through. And becoming a donor is pretty easy. So whenever you register on your license, or you can go online, if you register to become a donor, some people think that their doctors won't work as hard to save their life, but that's not true, because doctors that are working on their patients, they normally don't even know that they're an organ donor until they are qualified to say, oh, there's no more care that we can give, or they're at the end of their life. They really don't know if they're an organ donor or not until it gets to that point to see if they are. So most people won't become one because they're scared of how they would get treated, but it's not true. Some people say, oh, well, an open casket funeral isn't really an option for people who've donated. But it's not true, because what's done when somebody donates their organs is no different than what's done when performing an autopsy. It's basically the same thing. So once you're clothed, you can't tell the difference. And if you have this organ or that organ, you can't really see your body once you're clothed. So through the entire donation process, the body is treated with care, respect, and dignity. The doctors who perform the autopsies do the same thing, and the same thing goes for the organ donations. It's really respected just because there's such a big need for it. Also, some people think they're too young to donate their organs, but there is not an age limit for organ donation. It's never too early to begin the conversation about organ donation. In my opinion, parents and families should start talking about organ donation when they're around the school age, about middle school, or when they become about 12, 15 years old, I think is the appropriate time, just because anything could happen, really, and parents can decide for their younger children if they have not reached the school age yet. Some people say they are too old to donate, but that's not true either, because there's no absolute age exclusions. So if you're otherwise healthy, there's really nothing that can stop you from being an organ donor. I mean, maybe one organ is viable and the other ones aren't. It can still save a life, no matter what you're giving, whether it's just your tissue or anything. It can really help a lot of people. Some people say, well, I'm not in good enough health to donate my organs, and that's when that comes in factor. Very few medical conditions disqualify you from becoming an organ donor, and it may be determined that certain organs aren't suitable for transportation. So that's when the other ones are. So organ donation is really helpful, not just for you, but for the other people too. It can give you benefits just showing you that, oh, I have done so much good, I've helped so many people. It can really give you a better quality of life, just having that awesome feeling, and that's just a really good way to help out somebody else in need, especially to save their life. Some people think organ donation is against their religious beliefs, but most religions support organ donation, including Catholics, Protestants, Islam, most branches of Judaism. They all see it as just a final act of love after they have passed away, whether it's for them or their family members, And it's also considered just generosity with others, just towards anybody that you're able to help. So if you're unsure of whether your religion considers this either good or bad, you can talk to your religious leaders and you can see how it can help anybody else and see how you can get registered, signed up, and it could really benefit everybody. So donating any organs, and there's many reasons why you should become one, not only because it's helping everybody out, but it can give you a better quality of life also. So I hope you decide to become an organ donor. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask. Thank you.